Hello and welcome back to the Giants 2K5 franchise. I usually do the introductions for the franchise at the very beginning, so the very first video. But this was a special situation and I wanted to talk extensively about what's about to take place. So if you watched the first video, the game against the Eagles, you would have seen exactly the struggles that I had with the Giants offense. And it was only going to get worse with Shockey being out for probably the rest of the season with a broken kneecap. So after that game, I decided to go to the trading block because I needed to get some offensive weapons, and I was just going to see what was available. And look at what I came across. Ladainian Tomlinson, and all they wanted was a corner with a rating of 50 or higher. Now, I try to keep these things as realistic as possible. So if I'm going to make a move for Tomlinson, I'm going to make a realistic deal. So I wasn't just going to see what cornerback I had with 50 or higher. And also, I didn't want another team sneaking up on me and offering a much better deal. So Tiki Barber, who I wanted to get rid of at the very before the season, to be honest with you, I figured that would be a reasonable offer, as well as Allen. And I was going to throw in my first round pick as well, because that's what teams love, especially in the NFL. Now I had to include another Charger just so the contracts would work out, but I got the deal done. So now we have Ladainian Tomlinson, LT number 2. Of course, we know Lawrence Taylor was LT number 1, but the second coming of LT in a Giants uniform, and I'm excited for this. I really am, because you think about it. First of all, it's crazy because the Giants and Chargers made a big move in the previous draft. Eli Manning should have been, I think he actually officially was drafted by the Chargers and then was traded for Phillip Rivers and future draft picks. So here they are. They swapped quarterbacks, and now they've swapped running backs. So here we go. It's actually happening. We got Ladainian Tomlinson, Kurt Warner. I benched him after he threw a pick and then just gave up on the play. I don't mind if he throws a pick, but you got to at least chase after, at least pretend to care. So the Eli era has begun, and he's got Ladainian Tomlinson alongside. Let's see what we can do. That changes the course of this franchise significantly, because now, this guy is a top 5 running back in my opinion of all time. And along with Adrian Peterson, the best running back we've seen in football since Barry Sanders. So let's see how this turns out. I'm excited. I really am excited. And this to me is the start of the franchise. Week 1 was almost like a preseason game. And no one was expecting us to win up against Philly and T.O. and Javon Curse and McNabb and all those guys, Dawkins. So let's get into it.
Aloha, I'm Chris Berman, and coming up on ESPN, set to go with Week 2 of the NFL on ESPN. Hi, everyone, I'm Chris Berman. Week 1 certainly had a share of surprises. Will Week 2 continue in that vein, or will things start to even out a bit? We'll see. We've got an excellent early season matchup for you here. Redskins, Giants. Now. A bit.
The fans are finding their way to their seats, those who really own those seats, as we get set to begin this exciting game. Hi, and welcome to Giant Stadium. I'm Dan Stevens. My good buddy Peter O'Keefe is with us, and Peter, the story of this one has to be the battle at the receiver position.
Well, Dan, when you have 2 great receivers on the field, you know it's going to be exciting. Rod Gardner is a very gifted receiver. He's super strong, and that strength enables him to power through defenders to pick up extra yardage. On the other side of the ball, we've got another top performer. Amani Toomer is a very gifted receiver. He's an exact route runner, and that's crucial for an effective offense because it allows the quarterback to scan his receivers quickly and effectively. I'll tell you what, Dan, both these guys have potential to light it up today.
Okay, Peter, we'll see how they do once the game begins, but first, and we're set. Bryant boots the opening kickoff. Betts fields the opening kickoff at the 16. Stopped at the 37. Well, it looks like the weather is cooperating with us today, but...
Back to you, guys.
Susie, thank you. The Redskins will start this first play of the drive at their 37-yard line. Portis picks up a yard on the play, and that will bring up second down. Brunell throws a beauty to the right side, and it's no good, incomplete. Tupa lines up to punt after the 3-and-out. Tupa gets the snap and punts it away. Peterson gets it at the 19. Tomlinson gets the ball and gets past the line. Tackled at the 27. Tomlinson gets the call again and chews up about 4 on the play. Finn catches it in the flat and he's looking for room. Tackled at the 40. First down.
And knows how to play ball in the NFL. He makes the catch and then works for more yards. That's the kind of player you get the ball to.
Tomlinson has his number called on first down and rambles for about 5. Tomlinson picked up about 7, and that brings up first down.
Marcellus Rivers delivered.
Manning throws it to the left sideline, and the catch is made well past the markers for a first down.
Ladainian Tomlinson is head-to-head on this one with the pass coverage, and the ball is waiting for him downfield. That's a great catch. It's all about being in the right place at the right time, Dan. Perfect execution.
Toomer grabs the fastball over the middle and is well past the markers for a first down.
Some miracle gets a completion out of it. I don't know how that happened, Dan. Let's have another look.
There you go. Well, the D had him covered, and they just couldn't get to the...
Sounds in the game for an offense.
Tomlinson picks up a yard on... Taylor puts a lick on the receiver and separates him from the ball. Incomplete. Down.
Nice pressure that time.
Manning floats this one out to the right sideline, and it's caught for the score.
Touchdown, Giants!
Eli Manning goes right past the coverage and into his receiver's hands. Nice throw.
Peter Hill had a touchdown. Bryant kicks it off. Betts catches it back at the 9. Dragged down at the 28.
Liddell Betts tried to run it out, but the defense preferred that he stayed put, and they made their case pretty forcefully there.
Gardner catches it in the flat and picks up 4 on the play. Portis chooses. Gardner snags the missile and they convert on third down. Joseph
Guess a direction in that situation, and he guessed right. That's instincts. Key here. It made all the pieces fall into place.
Third down coming up. Bruno by the defensive coordinator.
Oh, it sure was. Perfect D for that situation.
And it will bring up fourth down. Peterson fields the deep punt at the 9. Tackled at the 26. Tomlinson gets the call on first down and will gain close to 6. Manning rifles this one hard over the middle, and they convert on third down.
Eli Manning made a nice throw there, got it right past the defender.
And Peter, that play doesn't get off the ground unless he runs a very... Tomlinson carries this one off to the right. Gets the sack, and the clock continues to run.
They're Phillip Daniels gets to his man in the backfield for a big loss. I don't know what happened to the protection. Let's have a look. You know, Dan, it's all about...
Taylor makes a bring up 4th down. Fields takes the snap and kicks what will be a short one.
69.
Rips him down.
Agreed, Dan. They had it all locked up there.
That will bring up 2nd down. The Giants take their first time out. The Giants will take a timeout. Tupa gets the ball and punts it away. Peterson fields the punt at the 41. Brought down. Bowen. Manning rifles it out left side and Toomer catches the bullet. Old unit is on the field. Bryant kicks from 39 yards out and it's through the uprights.
Momentum is definitely behind them now.
There's the signal and we're ready. Bryant kicks this one away. Betts fields the kickoff at the 11. Great screen, knocked out of bounds at the 36-yard line. Portis carries it for the 6th time and will end up losing a bunch here. And that'll do it for the first half of this one. The Giants enjoying a lead 10-0. And now let's send you to Chris Berman in our studios in Bristol for the ESPN halftime report. Boomer?
Okay, Dana, we'll get back to you guys in a moment. Welcome, everybody, to the ESPN Halftime Show. I'm Chris Berman. Now we'll look at our halftime numbers and look at the difference in time of possession. The Giants are winning because of it. Let's see if they can keep up their dominance in the second half. We'll start this one off late in the first quarter. Eli Manning connected with his man on this one. A 12-yard touchdown for the Giants. The Giants strike first and go up by 7. Giants midway through the second, the ball at their own 32-yard line. Eli Manning would find his target on this one. Giants late into the second quarter, Giants up by 7. Matt Bryant would be called upon for the field goal try and he'd come through. And that's where we'll leave this one. Giants are up at the half, 10-0. It's time now for our Halftime Hero Award, which recognizes the most dominant player of the first half. Duh. This time there can be no question. Well-dressed Amani Toomer has played like a man possessed. So that'll do it from here. Let's send you back out now to Dan Stevens and Peter O'Keefe.
Boots the second half kickoff away. Peterson decides to take it out of the end zone. Dragged down at the 16. It looks like, we've had an injury down on the field. As soon as we hear anything, we'll be sure to pass the information along to you.
There you go. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. All right. Okay. All right, big guy. You got it. Don't worry about it. Here we go. All right. All right. Let's go.
Tomlinson will take this one off the toss and maybe picks up one on the play. Manning throws a bullet and it falls incomplete. Tomlinson picks up about 2 and that brings up 4th down.
Michael Barrow just play.
Fields gets the snap and pummels this one deep. Smoot fields it at the 27. Jukes. No dice, and it falls incomplete. Bauman had to leave the field earlier in the game, and now Susie Kalber has a report. Susie?
Thanks, Dan. The trainers have just informed me that he's got a severe headache at the moment. They're looking at him right now. He seems to be in serious pain. The official word on his return, doubtful. Back to you, Dan.
Thanks, Susie. Second down, 3 wideouts in the game. Greason gets the sack at the 40.
Nick Greason all down the quarterback.
Portis catches it over the middle and is at the 40. Tackled at the 46. Cousin will be credited with the tackle. 4th down. Tupa takes the snap and punts it away. Peterson fields the punt at the 14. Dragged down at the 20. Well, Peter, some interesting information up on the screen.
Oh, you bet. Nice drive results there. I like their efficiency. They've been putting the points on the board without a lot of wasted effort. Great job so far.
Will start this drive at their own 20-yard line. Tomlinson takes it for his 11th carry and picks up the 1st down.
Boy, they get some good yardage out of this one, Dan, and they do it a number of good ways. Good line blocking, good downfield blocking, and a nifty run to...
Lets it go here, and it's complete at the 44, 40, chased down at the 30. It will be 1st down.
Amani Toomer racked up some nice yards after the catch. Killer effort.
I'm glad he finally nabbed one because he's had a string of missed catches before this.
Yeah, his quarterback obviously didn't lose.
Tomlinson will take the handoff and heads left. Tomlinson carries it past scrimmage. Tomlinson carries it for a 3rd time in a row and he gets tackled short of the marker. That will bring up Bryant. Kicks from 38 yards out and puts it straight through the uprights and good. The ref gets the signal and we're set. Bryant kicks it off. Betts fields it all the way back at the 6. Breaks the tackle. Tackled at the 27-yard line. Brunell zings it to the right. Crash rolls in the lob right side, and he's got the 1st down. Portis will get the carry, and that'll do it for the 3rd quarter. The Giants enjoying the lead, 13-0. Brunell made a throw that was off target there. Incomplete.
Mark Brunell knows how to spread the ball around, as you can see by this passing chart. He's getting the ball into his receiver's hands and has piled up 44 yards and no touchdown.
Brunell throws a bullet to the flat, and it's... Tupa takes the long snap and punts it away. Peterson. Tomlinson picked up about 7, and that brings up 2nd down. Daniels tackles him behind the line of scrimmage. Manning throws a bullet to the flat, and he connects at the 16. Stopped at the 24. That will bring up 1st down.
Ladainian Tomlinson must have been pretty lonely out there on his own, but the quarterback got him the ball to cheer him up a little bit.
Barrow tackles him behind the line of scrimmage.
Michael Barrow was a...
Tomlinson gets the call on 2nd down and heads wide left. Tackled, and the Redskins take their 1st... Tomlinson dodges this one way out right. The Redskins will take a timeout. That's their 2nd. Tomlinson. And that is going to do it for this one. The Giants come out on top, 13-0. For my partner, Peter O'Keefe, this is Dan Stevens saying goodbye until next time.
Good job, baby. Good job. See you, though. That's all right now.
All right, gang, great work as always. And with that, we welcome everybody back to the ESPN studios for our ESPN Video Games postgame show. I'm Chris Berman. The Giants stepped it up for sure, putting up some good numbers. We'll pick up the action midway through the third quarter. Well-dressed Amani Toomer ran a terrific route here and was able to pull this one in. That set up a 39-yard field goal. The Giants move ahead by 13. Mark Brunell would drop back and deliver a strike on this one. Giants winning by 13. Ladainian Tomlinson is going to get the carry here as they grind it out on the ground. He makes the most of this one, and that's where we'll leave this one. Giants serve up a shutout, 13-0. Now let's check in with our player of the game, a guy who made one big-time catch after another to help seal the win for his team. Well-dressed Amani Toomer is down on the field with Susie Colbert. Suze?
Thanks, Chris. You were fantastic, and you helped your team put this game away. What gave you guys the edge today?
I really think our linebackers played well today. They're reading the plays, getting after the ball. Man, it looked like a pack of wild dogs out there. They played big time today, so yeah, I gotta tip my cap to them.
Chris, back to you.
Well, that just about does it. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time here on ESPN, celebrating 25 years as the worldwide leader in sports. I'm Chris Berman. So long.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Chris Berman. Let's get straight to the action. In our first game this week, we had the 49ers come away with a 2-point nail-biting win. Daylon McCutcheon stepped it up this week and gave his team some added firepower for the win. Sean Bryson had over 50 yards receiving and helped his Lions beat the Texans. In a long-standing AFC rivalry, we had the Steelers pick up their first win of the year. We had a big injury in this one, and Trey has the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Boomer, thanks. In front of you, we've got the AFC Infirmary Report. And as you can see, they were hit hard this week. John Browning is probably the one that most leaps out at you. Notes from the team doctors said it's a broken thigh bone, and that he'll likely be out for 6 weeks. In front of you, we've got the NFC list. And as you can see, they could form their own MASH unit. Kevin Barlow might be the biggest loss on this list. He'll be out for the rest of the season. On to the serious news of the week. Alan Faneca is officially on injured reserve. He'll miss the season, and of all the places you hate to lose established players, the offensive line has to be the worst. So that'll do it for now. Boomer, back to you.
Redskins, Giants. Well-dressed Amani Toomer found a soft spot on the defense and it worked to his advantage. The Giants win this one by the final score of 13-0. Off the Missouri River in Kansas City, where the Chiefs end up with an 8-point victory. Down in Alltel Stadium, we had the Jaguars edge their way to a narrow 3-point win. The Packers got 300-plus yards from their offense in their victory at Lambeau Field. Bills, Raiders. Drew Bledsoe calling signals at the 9-yard line. Crowd into it now. Rolls right. And look at this toss across his body between defenders. Picture perfect 6. The Bills go on to win this by the final score of 24-21. The Patriots won on the road and will head into their bye week on a high note. We had a big trade also of note here. Trey's got the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Chris. Well, trades aren't quite as common in the NFL nowadays as they are in other sports, certainly. But we've got news to report to you on the trading front nonetheless. Richard Seymour leaves the Patriots and heads to the Titans. And they obviously see that as one of the areas that needs improvement. In exchange, they'll get someone to beef up their roster. Samari Rolle is someone that'll be a good fit for this secondary, as his aggressive instincts make him a natural out there.
Ontario Smith played well despite the loss and showed us why he's ranked up at the top of the league. Jets, Chargers. That's why Chad Pennington is always tough to cover inside the red zone. The ball at the 18-yard line. And there's a little room at the 2. Touchdown! The Jets go on to win this by the final score of 28-24. Matt Hasselbeck went to the end zone 4 times and helped his Seahawks beat the Buccaneers. Down in the deep south of Atlanta, we had the Falcons come away with a 7-point win. Over at Paul Brown Stadium, we had the Bengals squeeze out a 4-point victory. Colts, Titans. 4-point. Peyton Manning surveys the defense at the 25. Extra receiver is split out. That's the tight end. Even though he's got double coverage, heads to the corner, touchdown. What a throw. The Colts win this one by the final score of 37-13. So, 2 weeks into the books here on ESPN, here's my prime time performers for week number 2, and each is going to get a game ball. That'll do it, sports fans. I'm Chris Berman, and thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.